Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with Michael Barnett. And what we're going to talk about, besides his journey in business and in real estate, he's going to share with us how he's helping investors really extract the most value out of your portfolios. Guys, remember, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business. We provide tools and resources to grow that business they want to have, which in turn helps live the life that they want to live. Michael, welcome to our show.
Hey, thank you very much, John. I'm so happy and glad to be here, and thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about, extracting value. Every investor I know always wants more value out of their portfolios. But before we talk about that and kind of jump into the weeds of that stuff, tell us about you. Tell our audience how you got started in business and real estate and kind of what brought you up to today.
Well, I really got started in real estate a very, very long time ago when I was a small child. My parents were in the real estate business. My mom used to own a ERA, real estate brokerage. My father was a residential and commercial.
Huh?
Yeah, remember ERA?
I
ERA,
do.
right?
Yeah.
ERA back in the day. This is when they had Rolodexes, right? There were no computers.
Right.
And I was the little kid that was always sneaking in the back, stealing water out of the back, during the summers when I was home from school. So it was a lot of fun. But my dad was a commercial and residential building contractor. So I'd been in and around the industry for a long time. But my first, I call it real job, right? My first real job out of college was working for this company, Cendant Corporation. At the time, Cendant was the largest real estate and mortgage company on earth. I tell this story all the time. We were the company that made Barbara Corcoran almost a billionaire because we had purchased almost at that time, almost a billionaire.
Okay.
When we bought Corcoran Real Estate. It was, I think, a $750 million purchase at that time. But that's where I really cut my teeth in the real estate and mortgage business, was working at Cendant Corporation, which then spun off to PHH Corporation. Again, the company that's responsible for Coldwell Banker Real Estate and Mortgage, Better Homes and Gardens, Sotheby's International, et cetera, et cetera. So I had a lot of experience and exposure to all of those brands as a loan processor at first, then a mortgage loan originator, and then a sales coach, sales manager, executive, et cetera, for about 10 years of my life.
Walked up the ladder.
Yeah. And then I transitioned into commercial lending, right? So I kind of, after 2000, we went through the 2008 crisis, right? I think we were there, right? I think
of course.
You were there with me, right?
I was.
2008 crisis, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Survived.
Got a lot in common there, Michael.
Survived.
Yeah, right.
Survived it. And then in 2011, I decided to leave what they call today the TRID lending world.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And I decided to move into commercial lending and haven't looked back. So since 2011, I've been not only originating commercial loans, but of course managing and building lending companies that deliver commercial loans. So
awesome. You took kind of my question. I like to talk. If you've watched any of my podcasts, I like to go backwards, right? I think there's always so much value in a story. I usually ask folks, what was the first, how did you get into real estate? Were there any influences? And you took that with your parents. But my question to you would next be, okay, so you did all that with the parents, you were assimilated that way, and then you went to college. What did you study in college?
Computer science.
Computer science. Why something completely different from, well, then you got into real estate, but how come you didn't get into building? Or, I think you said your mom was a real estate agent?
She was. You really want to know the story? How it all happened?
Well, I'm just curious because some people, like when they get into what they know, right? And that's what you were assimilated to, but you went into lending.
Well, I was always a computer nerd, right? Computing and technology had always been a deep passion of mine from a small childhood. I was always really into computing technology, gaming, etc. And in high school, my major was computer science, computer engineering. In my high school, you were able to major like in something.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, it was computers. Back when there was a 386 and 486 computers and Microsoft, what was it, 3.1 before Windows 95, right?
Right.
So that was my major, and I always had known that I wanted to be a computer engineer or something to do in computing technology. It just so worked out that after college, I ended up in mortgage. It wasn't a plan or a strategy. I would say it was good luck how I ended up in mortgage, but I still retained my passion for technology. For example, when I went to work for Sendent, I was still involved at the company in technology projects. So I was involved in the development of our LOS, our loan operating system. I was involved in the building, the rollout, the testing, the beta testing of that product. When I then moved into commercial lending, I worked with our development team to build our technology, our LOS, right? And now as the founder of LoanSpark, I developed our technology because computer science is at my core. Right. It is a part of my DNA.
Okay, awesome. So as you got into lending, I would assume, or mortgage, I would assume maybe did any of the maybe knowledge you learned from the real estate world transition into that? Did it help any of that from your past?
I think my mortgage lending knowledge assisted in the development of our products because we're a financial technology company at LoanSpark. So we're dead center in fintech. So what I build and what we have built here are fintech products. And I think when you are an expert in the industry that you're building products for, it really helps those products really hit the mark versus let's say a software developer who's just building a product on contract or is working for a company and is a part of a team that's building a product, but don't really know the industry. So I think that's one of the advantages that we have at LoanSpark is those who are building the software are experts in the industry as well.
Yeah. Are there any struggles that you come across, any challenges as you keep progressing the software or what you're developing?
there's always challenges, and I think there's always challenges in road, speed bumps.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I would say our biggest challenges, I would say, are it's just finding great people, right? When it comes to like hiring and building the business. Right. And I think that's the same challenge that a lot of our mortgage brokerages that we partner with, that they go through, and mortgage companies and capital providers that we work with. It's where things are today. It's been just challenging just to find the best people to join the team, which is why we're always hiring.
Yeah. And I don't think that's just in the mortgage. I mean, I think it's everywhere, right? It's always trying to find, even for a lot of our operators that, in our Mastermind, it's finding the right people. That's always been a big thing.
It
so
is.
You mentioned, like, with today, like, what type of trends are you starting to see in the loan industry, or, what kind of things are starting to pop up, or do you foresee coming?
I see investor real estate transactions really coming back strong. We didn't expect it the way that it's occurring today. And I think there's a couple of reasons why. Interest rates have come down a little bit. I think that's one of the reasons why. Mm-hmm. But I think secondly, on the lending side, we are making it easier for investors to not only acquire real estate, but extract value out of that real estate. And I think it's more of like an industry trend where as a lender and as lenders, we're trying to make it easier for investors to buy real estate, to do so with less friction, with less red tape, with easier guidelines, and making it easier for them to extract equity from their investments faster. So I think that's one of the reasons why I think we're seeing such a strong surge in real estate investing. Plus, I think we all know there's really never a bad time to invest in real estate, because real estate always, we used to say it always goes up, right? We used to say always, okay.
That always is a little less.
Yeah, so
it continues. Everybody will leave that always out.
I won't say always, but I would say oftentimes real estate is generally a good investment. Yeah. Right. Long-term, for long-term investors, that is.
100%. So before we talk about our main topic of maximizing the profits, what does your business look like now? Like, what are you guys focused on? Do you have anything, any new products or things that you have for investors?
I think, one of the things that we have been really honing over the last 3 years is making the commercial real estate acquisition process a friction-free experience for investors. And one of the things that we specialize in is business purpose lending and commercial real estate lending to our investors and to our applicants. And historically, acquiring commercial real estate has been a difficult process. It hasn't been easy. When most originators or most applicants, borrowers are thinking about purchasing a piece of commercial real estate, you're thinking, oh, wow, the headache.
Right.
Got to call the bank. It's going to take 9 years just to get, to get the loan. Like, oh my God, I really want to do this. And one of the things that we've really focused on at Loan Spark is just honing the process so we can make it as simple as possible. And we've gotten our process down over the last 3 years to a science where a investor who's looking to purchase a piece of commercial property could close in 3 weeks on an acquisition, whether it's a building, a multi-unit building, let's say a 20-unit multifamily building, or whether it's an office space or or it could be an industrial building, or something in between.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
We've gotten this process down to such a science using automation, using data analytics, and using other technologies, including AI, which we've adopted over the last year into our process, that when investors are doing or using us for their purchase and refinance acquisitions, I mean, it's like they're always so happy at the end of the process because they couldn't believe that it's so easy. Now, is it so easy for everyone? It isn't for everyone because every situation is different. But overall, we've really honed the process to make it very simple.
Nice. So let's talk about how you extract value. If I'm listening to this and I hear extracting value out of my portfolio, I mean, I'm at, whoa, okay. How do I do it?
Yeah, I think there's two key ways. I mean, when an investor is purchasing real estate, they're doing so for one main reason: to make money, right? Whether it's near-term or long-term money, okay? Whether it's balance sheet asset to show I have a strong balance sheet, or maybe they want to show P&L, one or the other. Right. We help with both, right? So one of the things that we really specialize in is helping our investors extract the equity out of their investments and do so at the highest possible leverage in the shortest period of time. So over the last 5 years, there's a product, if you will, that's called the BRRRR, right? Buy
the BRRRR method. Rehab, rent, refinance, repeat.
Repeat, right? There's this method, but it seems easy, but it's not necessarily always that easy because lenders have restrictions on how much value and equity can be pulled out of those investments, like after a certain period of time. For example, 99% of lenders require the investor to hold that property for 6 to 12 months before you could refinance that property at full value.
Full value.
Which in my opinion is kind of nuts. Like, I bought a property, maybe I got a great deal. I purchased a property for $500,000. It was worth $750,000. I want to turn, and I got an appraisal for $750,000, right? But I bought it for $500,000. Now this is a little bit of an exaggerated situation. It does happen.
Not really.
But it happens. It happens.
Yeah, all of that, right? A lot.
But now I want to turn around and I want to do a full cash out and cash that thing out at the $750,000. No one really does that. We can do that under many circumstances. We can take full value of that appraisal, okay, and refi at that full appraised value, which is very important to an investor because, hey, I scored a great deal, man. Let me win. And so we found ways to make our investors win in those circumstances. So that's one really important one. Okay. So the scenario that I just outlined would be a scenario where, again, you found a property, you bought it under value. Another scenario is you purchased a property, you rehabbed it. Let's say you bought the property for $500,000, you invested $100,000 in the rehab. Now you have an ARV or an after repair value of $900,000. Okay. It took you 2 months to complete your rehab. Now you want to refi that property, extract the equity, and then rent the property. You weren't looking to sell it, right? Extract the equity. Again, there's very few who are going to enable you to refi at that $900,000 value. Okay. We can do that. So that's one way that we are helping our investors extract value out of their portfolios. Another interesting method that we also use. And this is for professional investors who have larger portfolios of real estate that are generating P&L income. And it doesn't need to be significant P&L income. Let's say you have you have 10 properties or 15 properties all under the same entity, and they're generating about $100,000 of income, right, for you as an investor. Probably going to be more than that, but let's say $100,000 of income. What we can do is we can take that business entity and underwrite it for a business loan that's essentially unsecured and not collateralized against the real estate. So using your real estate holdings and using the income that those holdings produce, we can provide loans against the business entity, right, that operates those properties, which is pretty cool, because then our investors can use those lines of credit to do things like a lot of different things, right? Upgrade the properties, buy more properties, invest in the properties, et cetera, et cetera. So it's two key things that we do at Lone Spark that we don't know a lot of others that do that. Our platform.
Why not?
Is
why
neat.
don't others do that? What makes it, makes you guys able to do that?
Because we're better. I think that's the quick and dirty reason.
Okay.
I think we just figured it out. We just figured out how to make what we do work in the real estate industry. The Lone Spark platform doesn't just cater to the real estate industry. Our company, a big part of what we do at Lone Spark is real estate, but we also offer other types of loans other than real estate. So we have the benefit of data of kind of the data in metrics from all industries, not just the real estate industry, that helps us make decisions. And I think that's probably what would separate Lone Spark as a lender or a provider of loans versus a company that just focuses on real estate loans. We do more than just real estate. So there's a big benefit to us in terms of the intelligence that we receive.
Makes sense. And I'd like to ask this question before we wrap it up. All of your success, right? Looks like you've climbed the ladder. You've done it all. You've been through the ups and downs. What do you think are your keys to success?
I think the main key to success is resilience and not quitting too soon. That's what I will say. When starting something new and building something new, whether you're just starting out as an investor, your first investment, my first investment, it didn't go the way that I wanted, but I didn't quit. I didn't quit. Right. You know, my second investment, I invested in a location that probably wasn't what I realized before the properties were complete, because they were new construction, that they weren't, that I probably shouldn't be in the deal, and I got out of the deal. Okay. Luckily. So I think the thing is, you don't want to quit too soon. If you really believe in what you're doing, like, you got to stay in it. Yeah. Because it takes a while sometimes to get to a level of success. And if you're on the internet, you're on social media, you're on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube, it seems like everybody is successful. It's not real. Everyone is not successful out of the gate. This takes time. It takes strategy. It takes a lot of energy. It takes effort. It takes study. Speak to people. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to recover from your mistakes as long as you continue your process. So I think for me personally, that is what's, I think, gotten me this far, is just not quitting too soon. Now, of course, the logical follow-up question is, well, how do I know, is it too soon? So I think, how do I know? Like I'm going bankrupt, Right. They're taking my car. Like, how do I know?
My wife to leave, or do I have to leave my kid? What's the tipping point?
How do I know it's too soon? I think that's an answer that each of us have to answer individually for ourselves. But that's a hard one to answer. But
you answered it great.
Yeah,
you did.
You got to stay.
You did. Yeah. Michael, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing all this stuff. If there's guys out that are listening that maybe have a big portfolio and they want to talk to you about some of these things you went through, how do they get in touch? What's the best way to reach out?
Hey, just go to loanspark.com. loanspark.com. We're very, very easy to find.
Perfect. And we'll put that in the show notes if guys can't find it, but it's loanspark.com. Michael, thank you again for coming on here, man. I really enjoyed it. I took some good notes. Guys, I hope you did too. And we will see you on the next one. Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.